Live at the Democratic National Convention in Charlotte in the Media Center, where everybody awaits President Obama's acceptance speech tonight of his nomination, and with George Bennet, political writer for the Palm Beach Post. George, as in Tampa last week, thanks for joining us. Talk about the sense of expectation in this hall, especially among Florida delegates, and then the bar the president's going to have to clear in Florida, a battleground state where it's razor tight.
Sure. I don't know that President Obama needs to prove anything to this crowd in here. This is the preaching to the choir. I think with this speech, what's interesting, he's given two very famous convention speeches in his past. This is the first time he's going to give a convention speech where he's got a 3.5-year record that he has to defend. Everybody's focused on the economy. We've seen a lot of President Clinton and others this week casting the economy in the most favorable light to President Obama, pointing out that he inherited a historically bad situation. But you also saw this week Democrats had trouble and stumbled over the question of whether people are better off now than they were 4 years ago, and that's still a poignant question for voters when they go to the polls.
And you raise an interesting point. Democrats this week have been saying, listen, we're going to have to close the financing gap. Republicans are outspending us. They consistently say you're going to have to get out of this convention where everybody's preaching from the same choir and really get out and push hard in battleground states. I also want to talk about subtext. Charlie Crist, the former Republican governor, here tonight to make a speech supporting President Obama. Some say, is he going to become a Democrat, run for governor in 2014? What are you hearing? What are your thoughts?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, Charlie Crist is well known in Florida, and even Florida Democrats are a little wary of him. But I really think Governor Crist's appearance tonight is really not geared towards Florida so much as a national audience. He's kind of a trophy where they can say, look, here's a guy that was a Republican and he supports Barack Obama. I don't know that the Obama campaign cares so much about Florida, or and the real interesting question of whether Crist is going to run for governor here in 2 years.
We'll see how much Charlie Crist cares to see whether this is a beginning springboard. A lot of buzz about that. We hope to talk to him later. As always, George Bennet, Palm Beach Post political writer. Thanks for taking just a few minutes with us. That wraps it up. We'll be back at the top of the hour. Michael Williams reporting live from Charlotte.